According to Angela O'Donnell, any discussion of peer learning involves consideration of who is learning, how the role of peers with whom one works can be conceptualized, what it is that peers learn together, what changes as a result of the interaction, and how we can know what occurs in groups or what has been learned. Good day to our dear panelists, classmates, and our professor that is watching this video at the moment. I am Jalen Ramirez, and Mary Grace Tolentino is here with me today to present our thesis entitled Evaluating the Impact of Peer Interaction on Learning Efficiency, a quantitative analysis among students at Emilio Aguinaldo College, Cavite, School of Arts and Sciences Department. First off, let's unravel the background of the study. Peer interaction is a fundamental aspect of human socialization and learning. It occurs within various social contexts, such as classrooms, workplaces, or communities, where individuals engage in interactions, mutual support, and shared experiences with their peers. These interactions are essential for socio-cognitive development and can significantly impact learning outcomes. According to Jean Piaget, peer interaction plays a crucial role in cognitive development and knowledge construction. Piaget emphasizes that interactions with peers provide a valuable opportunities for active learning and socialization, contributing to the acquisition of cognitive skills. Peer-to-peer learning, as described by Topping and Ellie year 1998, it involves the active exchange of knowledge and skills among individuals within similar social groupings. In this form of interaction, peers support each other's learning, often without direct involvement from professional educators. This collaborative approach allows participants to learn from each other's perspectives, clarify concepts, and deepen their understanding of subject matter. The effectiveness of peer interaction in learning has been recognized in educational setting. However, there is a need for further exploration into its specific implications and mechanisms. While previous studies have highlighted a potential benefit, a comprehensive understanding of how peer interaction influences learning outcomes is still lacking. The proposed study aims to address this gap by analyzing the role of peer interaction in promoting cognitive growth, critical thinking, and knowledge acquisition among students at Emilio Aguinaldo College, Cavite, by evaluating the dynamics of peer-to-peer learning within the study. The study seeks to provide insights that can inform educational practices and policies, ultimately enhancing learning experiences for students. Now, Mary Grace will lead you to our theoretical and conceptual framework.
I will now present to you our theoretical framework that we use as a roadmap for our study. Social presence theory called learning presence. According to this theory, it enables us to learn because it primes the learner to adopt the perspective of others, represent others' minds, and infer whether and how others understand the incoming information. This theory underscores the importance of social dynamics in learning, highlighting how interactions with peers can shape discussions and exchange of ideas. It's all about how peer presence fuels those social connections that drive learning experiences. Next, Lev Vygotsky's sociocultural theory. According to Vygotsky, he believed that the cognitive development is influenced by cultural and social factors and emphasized the role of social interaction in the development of mental abilities of an individual. This theory emphasized the pivotal role of social interaction in cognitive development. Lastly, meta-analysis. It is a statistical approach that allows us to synthesize findings from multiple studies. As Aryan Castle et al. 2018 explained, meta-analysis enable us to combine data from various research initiatives, providing us a comprehensive understanding of the overall impact of peer interaction on learning outcomes. That's all for theoretical framework.
As As per our population and sample, the participants in this study will be drawn from the student of Emilio Aguinaldo College, Cavite School of Arts and Sciences Department. Specifically, the study aims to include a total sample size of 96 respondents from the department. Participants or the respondent must be a bona fide student of Emilio Aguinaldo College, Cavite School of Arts and Sciences. Participants must be currently enrolled in the second semester of the school year 2023 to 2024. The rationale for selecting students from SAS department is to ensure a homogeneous sample with similar educational background and experiences. This approach will facilitate a focused investigation into the role of peer interaction in learning outcomes within this specific academic context. By adhering to strict inclusion criteria, the study aims to gather meaningful insights into the effectiveness of peer interaction in promoting cognitive growth, critical thinking, and knowledge acquisition among students at Emilio Aguinaldo College, Cavite.
Now, we will proceed to our sampling technique. To ensure that every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected and minimize bias, the researchers opted to use simple random sampling technique in this study. Our sampling technique was carefully chosen to ensure that every student at Emilio Aguinaldo College, Cavite School of Arts and Sciences Department had an equal shot at being part of our study.
Now, the following sample questionnaire is designed to assess the impact of peer interaction on learning efficiency among students at Emilio Aguinaldo College, Cavite School of Arts and Sciences Department. The questionnaire utilizes a Likert scale format for close-ended questions to systematically measure respondents' perception and experiences. Part A will be the demographic information. First question is the respondent can put their name or not since it is optional. Next is the gender of the respondent. Third is the age range of the respondent. Fourth is the course of the respondent since the department consists of 3 courses: medical biology, BA communication, and BS psychology. And the last to fill for this part is they will evaluate their academic performance rating in previous semester. Part B contains 8 questions. The following questions assess their preferred learning style and perception of peer interaction. They will indicate their level of agreement on each statement using the scale provided. The scale is divided into 5: strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. Here are the sample statements for our questionnaire that they will be answering. First question is if they prefer doing academic tasks with their classmates or group activities. Next, if they enjoy collaborative learning activities where they work with peers. Next is do they often engage in peer interaction outside of the class? Next is are they satisfied with the quality of their interaction with peers and in terms of supporting each other's learning? Next is are they confident in their academic abilities based on the past performance? Next is does peer interaction contributes to better academic performance? Next is does peer interaction helps them to understand course material effectively? And lastly, do collaborative learning environments foster a sense of community among students? By completing the questionnaire, it will provide valuable insights into the role of peer interaction in learning efficiency, contributing to evaluate the impact of peer interaction on learning efficiency for our study.
I will now present our statement of the problem. This study focuses on identifying the influences of peer interaction in the engagement levels of the college students of Emilio Aguinaldo College, specifically aimed to answer the following questions. 1. What is the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of gender, age, academic performance, and prior experience with collaborative learning? Sample questions are: what is the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of gender and age? And how does academic performance vary across different age groups? 2. What is the level of acceptance of the respondents towards peer interaction in terms of perceived usefulness, ease of use, trust or security, and compatibility with learning preferences? Sample question is, how do students' previous experiences with peer interaction influence their perception of its effectiveness in facilitating learning? 3. What is the difference in academic performance between students who engage in peer interactions and those who prefer individual learning approaches? Sample questions are: first, how effective do you find peer interaction in helping you understand course material? Second, in your opinion, does peer interaction contribute to better academic performance? And lastly, in what ways does peer interaction contribute to the development of critical thinking skills? That's all for the statement of the problem. And that would be the end part of our group presentation. Thank you so much for listening, and we highly appreciate your attention in our presentation entitled Evaluating the Impact of Peer Interaction on Learning Efficiency. And my name is Mary Grace P. Tolentino.
Peer assessment is when you have a partner and you both look over your work and you both list the strengths and weaknesses and you fix it.
I feel like I'm next to a teacher, yet I can relate to my peer more because they're basically my age.
It was really helpful because sometimes you don't get your ideas straight and forget to include something. But when you look at the rubric, you know what you have to include.
Yeah, it helped me because I can see what I did wrong for myself, and then my peers and my friends or whatever, they can tell me so then I can become better, and they can also become better from reading my work.
Through this process, my grading over the years has gone higher for all my students. And it's not because I'm being a generous grader, it's because the kids are so involved in the independent process of learning through peer and self-assessment that they are able to really raise their grade to where they feel it needs to be.
Before I was really doing self-assessment, peer assessment, I wasn't really clear to myself what I was teaching. So if I wasn't clear about it, how are the students going to be clear about it? And then when I had to really sit down and think about that, it totally changed my approach to teaching and what the children learn.
So, how do you do peer assessment? One way to do peer assessment is to use the ladder of feedback created by David Perkins of Harvard University. This method provides a process of critique that guides students to generate kind, thoughtful, and effective feedback. The ladder of feedback asks students to formulate their assessments in the following way. First, questions of clarification, such as, am I reading this correctly? Second, comments on value. For example, what I think works really well is. Third, comments of concern, such as, what I worry about is. And fourth, suggestions for revision, i.e., maybe this part would work better if you. Students may also base their feedback on the rubric you have created with them for the assignment. It is critical that as students confer, you walk around your classroom to monitor progress and ensure that the ladder of feedback is properly applied, that each student is receiving useful feedback, and as importantly, When your class completes the peer assessment process, students will have ample time to revise their work.
Vocabulary that I would try to teach before assessment just never seemed to stick, and now it's like sticking, and they're using it naturally in their speaking. It's amazing that they're able to take ownership of their own work. It's no longer just depending on me to tell them what to do. They're making the decisions themselves.